Hello, you're listening to the One Idjit's Thoughts on podcast on day 7 of the 12 days of trivia, part of the Dog Days of Advent podcasting challenge. It's a whole Russian doll of titles. I'll be completely used to them by the time I drop the latter two. I'm joined in the Measure for Measure sewing shop by my lovely wife, Darcy.
Hello.
And our friend in trivia, Luke Moravec.
Well, just keep it down. I'm still working on my answers.
Luke, how are you finding these questions?
I'm finding the questions just fine because you're delivering them. It's the answers that I'm not finding. These are difficult. And I'm sure that, of course, once it's going to be that of course moment. You're going to say, of course. So you know what, I've just got to,
The third question on this one was probably a little bit too specific. Unless you've been there. You know, if you've been there, you probably...
I haven't been there, but I have like 4 guesses what it could be, and I'm sure none of them are right.
And this is probably the least fair category of all of the categories I wrote this season.
Okay, I've got an idea of what I think that could pull them together. But all right, go ahead.
Okay. So, what goes in a poppy seed bun with sweet relish, yellow mustard, sport peppers, tomato slices, a pickle spear, and celery salt? The answer is...
I know what it is. You want me to say it?
Sure.
Yeah, I do.
It's a Chicago dog.
A Chicago dog, huh?
These are all components specifically of a Chicago dog, which I personally love, but some people negatively compare to a salad. Slang for the preparation is dragged through the garden.
Ooh, delicious.
And Chicago-based Vienna Beef and Red Hot Chicago hot dog manufacturers favor the dragged through the garden recipe.
I like that terminology, dragged through the garden. I'm going to start using that.
He also said something that might have been a clue. Okay, go ahead.
Ketchup is forbidden, and many Chicago vendors do not even have ketchup available to customers.
Oh, because
I assume the ones that don't sell French fries.
the relish is really good, and so is the mustard. So you don't need it.
All right, you are ready for the second question.
I am.
In the Mark Twain story, what creature was celebrated in Calaveras County?
You got it?
No, but I have an idea.
Okay.
It could be very wrong.
Yes.
I said the Jersey Devil.
I also just wrote that down because I was just like, let's write something down.
That's what I did.
Wow. The answer is Jumping Frog.
Jumping Frog!
What?
The title of the short story is The Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, originally published in 1865, the first story that pushed Mark Twain from his status as a regional newspaperman to the national spotlight.
Okay. Okay, now I'm rethinking my next answer.
Yeah, because
Hold
you
on.
get Chicago dog, jumping frog. What rhymes with that?
Big fat hog.
That's not a town in the States.
I'll warn you ahead of time that the hot dog is what goes into the Chicago dog. The question was about what goes into all that stuff, which is
it's a hot dog, hot frog.
Hot dog, jumping frog.
Oh, I see.
Hot dog, jumping frog.
Okay.
All right, I'll get this last one.
Bump on a log.
I'll hit this last one.
Might be just be an animal. I think it's maybe an animal that we're looking for.
All right. So what U.S. city is served by what is known as a sunport, constructed in the Pueblo Revival form of architecture? Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh, it was one city off. I went with Santa Fe.
I had Phoenix, Taos.
Sorry.
I was like going all over.
I could have waited for your answers. But, previous to its construction, Albuquerque was served by private airports, but civic leaders wanted to use Works Progress Administration to build a public facility, and it opened in 1939. The airport was officially named the Sunport in 1963, and the present terminal was built in 1965. The original 1939 terminal has now been restored and houses the TSA offices for the Sunport. So I'm afraid this extra point is a bit of a if you know kind of situation. I'll pause for a moment for the people at home to think about what happens when I say hot dog, jumping frog, Albuquerque.
These aren't songs again, are they?
They are not exactly songs.
Now, are these places that Bugs Bunny, or something Bugs Bunny? I'm feeling Bugs Bunny on this. No?
I'm feeling Weird Al Yankovic on this, but I don't think that's it.
All right, I'm gonna have to just go for it then.
All right.
The most unfair category of the entire thing. The answer from a band from County Durham in England called Prefab Sprout is a song titled "The King of Rock and Roll," which was produced by Thomas Dolby, and I would say definitely sounds like it. The song was released in 1988 and was the band's most successful single, spending 11 weeks on the UK singles chart, peaking at number 7. The chorus of the song was the words from this quiz, hot dog, jumping frog, Albuquerque. The words were chosen for their sound and have been described as a haiku without the syllable rule or a string of Americanisms. So, if you had a perfect run out of the entire quiz so far out there, you can have 29 points total.
Paul, I'm going to go ahead and, reserve any criticisms that I have here, but I will point out that Darcy was shaking her head.
That's
a tough one. That's so tough.
I don't see that very often.
Does anybody out there have a perfect score? Tell me somebody's got a perfect score.
No, they don't.
I tallied my own score. Based on the numbers, I have a -10, but I gave myself a +11 for tenacity, but I did subtract 1 for attitude, bringing my total to 0 so far.
Okay.
So, same as when I started.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, this was fun.
I think we've got another guest coming up next, and thank you for being with us.
Of course, like I said, this was a hoot.
Okay, we're joined remotely by another guest. He started out as part of the gathered voices in the background of Slice of Sci-Fi and Winging It before starting up his own Deadpan podcast. He's a friend of the show and the theme musician, Jack Mangan.
Yay!
Yay for Jack Mangan. Wow, I actually liked your verbal gaff there. I like deadpan. I might do my next podcast life. Jack Mangan's Deadpan podcast. Not to pick on you at all, like from the get-go here, but that's thank you for having me. I'm really thrilled. So a great friendship of ours we've had for a very long time. So I'm thrilled to be here and to help you, both of you.
Yes, you are the first guest that we're recording with, although I believe that Amy Bowen will show up before this in the feed, assuming that that recording goes okay on Friday.
Yes, Amy's fantastic. Deadpan ambassador.
Another Deadpanite, the Deadpan ambassador.
I don't think I've talked to her in like 10 years.
Yeah, we saw her in Omaha the one time.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, she comes to the Deadpan meetups. Hopefully you guys can do another Deadpan meetup. We do those annually, sort of.
Yeah.
So, there's a story there, but I won't hog up the space on your podcast telling stories.
Sure. Well, I can give a heads up out of fairness because I'm getting into questions shortly here. For fairness, the overall category this time, you'll only need part of each answer to come up with a connection. So if you used all the parts, it would make sense, but I'm not going to tell you which parts.
Oh, thanks.
But basically, the structure is 3 questions. Each of the answers goes together to form a new category that's completely unrelated to the questions.
Okay.
And that's the 4th point.
All right.
I'm frightened.
Right.
You should be. He is rough.
Okay, so first up, I'm looking for a TV professional. He wrote 8 episodes of Kolchak the Night Stalker, then 20 episodes of The Rockford Files, but at Rockford, he was producer for 65 episodes. So you'll probably get a more complete bio in one of my Rockford episodes at some point in the future. He hasn't actually joined the show yet during season 1, so. Along with that, he also did writing and producing on the Rockford revival movies, along with producing and writing work on All Fly Away, Northern Exposure, and The Sopranos. But that last one isn't an offhand mention. He is the creator, writer, and executive producer of The Sopranos.
Oh.
Name him.
No. Can I be dishonorable and...
Yeah, but I don't know. It's your discretion. I'm not taking certified grading sheets from anybody.
Yeah,
so
well, I'll let you know that if we're looking at grading sheets, that I ain't doing so hot.
Well, so we're gonna go on to the second question. Next, we're looking for a character originally played by a performer who was adopted from the Hinsdale Humane Society in 1968 and worked for the Leo Burnett ad agency. He was voiced on screen by actor John Irwin in a finicky performance. What advertising mascot is this?
I think I know.
I think I know this one.
Yeah. Okay.
That one was good.
Good. That's a good question, right?
Yeah. That was well written, Paul.
Thank you. All right. Last up.
Yes.
In the Pixar animated film Cars, a film legend played a racing legend for his final major motion picture role. It was fitting because he's also a racing legend. Curiously enough, he also became a salad legend and a philanthropic legend. Now that I've played up that legend angle enough, tell me, who is this legendary actor / racer / salads / philanthropist?
Okay. I have an idea, but I don't know if I'm right.
Yeah, there are actually two gentlemen of this with the same first name that I'm thinking of here. So
all right.
So yeah, let me know. Again, I don't want to be out of line here. Let me know when we can sound off.
Sure. Okay. Well, this was a quiz that I had a lot of fun writing, and I'm glad that we've all joined in on this. Jack, this is you'll be joining us in the next episode for the answer section. But if you'd like to plug something before we head to the close of today's episode, you have an opportunity.
Oh, well, yeah, thank you. I guess keep an eye out for Support Life in Music coming from me soon. It's a nonprofit for musicians. There's the Am I Evil graphic novel is out there. It's not exactly for sale, but reach out to me. We can make that happen. It's based on the classic song Am I Evil? And yeah, I'm also doing work with the Metal Hall of Fame, which we have our 2025 gala coming up soon. So stay tuned around all that stuff.
All right.
That's
very
me.
good. Very good. All right. And so until next time, we'll just say happy hunting.
Happy hunting.
Happy hunting.
You have been listening to the One Idjit's Thoughts On podcast, produced by Paul Mackey in association with Nimlas Studios. Any short clips of audio from shows is included under fair use for commentary purposes, and copyright for that content remains with its original copyright holders. The theme song is Too Good by Jack Mangan and is used by his generous permission. One Idjit's Thoughts is produced under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 International License. You can find more episodes of this podcast and many other fine podcasts at nimlas.org. You can contact me by emailing idjitcastpodcast@gmail.com or commenting on episodes at nimlas.org. Secret bonus category B number 3 is Freshen Up.